you're going to be introduced in a unique way to the man who we're named after, Cadwallader Washburn. In an amazing twist of fate, Cadwallader is here tonight. And I want to tell you how old he is, 218 years old. So I'm going to go back and see if he can get to the stage without help. We'll be right back. Before there was a General Mills, before there was a Minneapolis, before there was even a Washburn High School, there was a man who tamed the big muddy, who wrestled water wheels into turbines and carved stone and grain into a kingdom of flour. He built the largest flour mill in the world, and out of it he helped make the entire civilized world a breakfast. At the Battle of Croton Hill, he was a major general. In Minneapolis, a visionary. And in the kitchens of America, a quiet legend, a man who made even Betty Crocker blush. It's said that Midwest farmers get up before dawn to make the world a breakfast. But it was Major General Cadwallader Washburn's Miller militia who made sure there were hot biscuits and butter and jam. Tonight he returns, not as a ghost, but as a guiding light to remind us of the courage, the grit, and the well-fed imagination that built a city and this school. So secure your pantaloons, butter your morals, and hold on to your muffins. History's about to rise. Please welcome to the stage the man, the myth, the Mill City Miracle, General Cadwallader Washburn.
Citizens of Miller Nation, I have returned, summoned by the spectral starchlands for one last call to arms. A whisper on the wind, a scent of scorched toast, and a righteous groan from the boilers of destiny. I've risen once more to whip my ragtag, crackerjack militia into one last glorious march. On this time, not with muskets, but with stirring memories, and a baker's dozen of burning grievances against all rival schools. Yes, General Washburn has returned for the centennial muster of the mighty Millers. Flower power forever. Now, when I look at you, you brave, battered, beleaguered battalion of orange and blue, veterans of hallway skirmishes, cafeteria ambushes, and Sadie Hawkins' emotional massacres. You've endured the heartbreak of unreturned crushes, the sting of locker doors to the face, and the unsolvable calculus of math teachers who refuse to believe in partial credit. Death to your desperate pleas for mercy. I see you now, older, some of you much older, wiser, possibly gluten-averse, lactose-wary, and riddled with nostalgia-induced lumbago, but still glorious. As we used to say after the Battle of Bratwurst Ridge, more dashing than a cavalry charge, and wilder than a pancake breakfast at a Black Bear revival. I am General Cadwallader Washburn, resurrected by memory, mischief, and the unbearable staleness of standardized testing. I'm a union man, a flower baron, a ghost with a grudge. It's true, I've drank my share of wolf poison. I've made love to wild mountain lions. Toil and slaughter were my daily bread. It was a strange courtship, but you don't question love or mountain ecology. But by the Lord God Almighty, I didn't fight at Vicksburg and launch a global empire of pulverized grain just so Southwest High School could claim cultural superiority with their Teutonic smugness and high-octane Jägermeister shots. No, sir. No, ma'am. No how. We Millers were forged in the grindhouse on the muddy banks of the mighty Mississippi, milled in madness, proofed in chaos, roasted and toasted to perfection. Yes, there was Central High. They had their prince. Merciful Moses on a muffin, bless his purple rain. But no amount of his cream could butter their biscuits when Miller time came calling. And what about Roosevelt High? They sent at us Jesse the Body Ventura. Well, we sent back Jesse the overcooked Mongol biscuit. Spongy, dense, with a poor crumb structure. Then there's South High, paper tigers. But we cinnamon rolled them into bewildered submission and served them up warm with a side of humility. And Patrick Henry, we gave those flaccid doughboys the old shake and bake. And we went through them like butter frosting through a pastry nozzle. Then there is our most bitter of rivals, Southwest High School. Unholy, unleavened, I hear you out there. They were too cool to care, too rich to fight. They came at us with their lattes. Triple oat, half decaf lavender foam sweetened with air-kissed monk fruit, sprinkled with Peruvian cacao dust, and served in a hand-thrown with ceramic mug stenciled with namaste, and their spirit animal etched on their handle. Yeah, well, we answered with trench warfare and tater tot hot dish. Yes. We turned the gridiron into a hot waffle iron and smacked their powdered bottoms with a cast iron skillet of Miller Justice. Miller's comrades in arms, if you want to change the world, make toast. For some of you, make cupcakes with sprinkles, but make it with conviction. Make it with grit, gall, and gumption. Make it like you survived the cafeteria nachos of '88 and lived to tell the tale with only one surviving taste bud. And your candy toast? Fine. Make muffins, make pancakes, make a gluten-free self-rising redemption apology cake for your colon. But merciful sakes alive, make something, because we Millers, we are the makers, the bakers, the shakers, the carbon-loading troublemakers, the kneaders, the feeders, the midnight muffin eaters, the loafers, the lifters, the sourdough soul shifters. Yes, we proof under pressure, and we rise like the righteous and brown with resolve. And yes, some of us got a little crusty around the edges. But that, my friends, is where the flavor lives. Now, some of our comrades didn't make it here today. They fell to fate, to Florida. And some, God help them, even to Wisconsin. And we're still Iowa. Once a Miller lands in the backwaters of Davenport, they vanish faster than bloomers at a river baptism gone sideways. But we honor them all, and we bake on. We bake for the misfits, the mathletes, the stoners, the underdogs, the overachievers, the quietly brilliant weirdos who became street poets, kombucha tycoons, and one very successful balloon artist. So bake in my name, for I once stood on the banks of the Big Muddy. I looked into that swirling beast and summoned the spirit of Old Man River. You've got the power of 10,000 mules, so roll on and turn my grinding wheels. Build me a kingdom of flour with a mighty scream and holy steam. But we bake for revenge. We bake for glory. We bake for the sacred starches of liberty. It isn't vengeance. This is a reckoning. A simple carbohydrate uprising. This, dear friends, is the return of the Millers. So tomorrow at the crack of dawn, when the rooster crows and the coffee percolates, don't just make your bed. Make a damn biscuit. Or a cupcake. But make it with sass. Make it with a battle cry echoing in your chest, like a war drum in the charred silo of the Washburn A mill. The very heartbeat of flower power. And raise one last toast to the orange and blue, to grist, to griddle, to the brave souls who defied rice cakes and kale. To every rival school we crushed like flavorless focaccia. Flat, gummy, no crust, all whimper and no whip. Yeah. We rise like Sunday bread in a prairie oven. Golden, chewy, It's slightly burnt and crusty, but that is built to last. Orange and blue are not just colors, it's a creed. Gold medal orange and blue shacks is our flag, and fortified flour is our speed. It's Miller time. So cinch up your aprons, Miller, and sack the hell up. Orange and blue blazing bright like toaster coils at dawn, with toast rising to raise hell. We bake, we rise, and we do not apologize. We don't fold, we don't flake, and we don't go gluten-free under fire. You feeling that heat wave today? The ovens of destiny are preheated, and somewhere out there, a fresh batch of Millers is already rising, hot, sticky, and just a little inappropriate for a church bake sale. We make toast. Then we storm the brunch lines, and we don't stop till all our mimosa-swilling rivals surrender. Remember, this is Mill City. We are the cake eaters. This is Washburn. Class dismissed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cadwallader C. Washburn, 218 years old. Standing ovations from some who can still hear. This is Tom Grimm, Washburn High, 1970.